The Ugly Duckling. On a beautiful summer day, a family of ducks is taking a swim while another is enjoying a stroll by the bank. But one duck is sitting on her eggs among the tall leaves.
I wonder when my babies are going to come out. They are taking so long to hatch. It is so lonely. No one has the time to visit me.
But Mommy Duck didn't have to wait too long. Soon the eggs started cracking and the little ducklings started taking small, unsteady steps out of their shells.
Quack, 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 quack. Oh, my babies are so beautiful. Now come and line up here, all of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, there should be one more.
Mother Duck looked around and saw one egg which had not yet hatched.
I think I will have to sit again on this egg till it hatches. It seems pretty large.
Soon the last egg hatched, but the duckling that crept out was large and ugly.
This little fellow doesn't look like his brothers and sisters.
The next day, Mother Duck leads her brood to the water.
Oh, I am proud today that my ducklings are swimming so well, and how well the youngest one is swimming. Come on, kids. That's enough for today. We must get to the farm before it turns dark.
The duck family makes its way to the farmhouse where there were lots of other ducks.
What is that strange-looking creature doing here?
The other ducklings are so cute, but this one is so big and ugly.
He is ugly. We don't want him here.
That's not a nice thing to say. He is still small, and I'm sure he will grow up to be beautiful too.
But the other ducklings continued to bully and make fun of the ugly duckling.
I hope the ducklings stop this nonsense. I can't bear to see that poor child looking so sad.
But as days went by, things started becoming worse for the ugly duckling. Wherever he went, everyone was mean to him.
Have you ever seen anything uglier than this?
Seeing this creature in the morning, my day will also be as ugly as he is.
He seems to be getting uglier by the day.
The ugly duckling just wanted to hide somewhere and cry. Even his brothers and sisters were rude to him. Mother Duck was very sad to see everyone treat the ugly duckling so badly.
Nobody wants to talk to me or play with me because I am ugly. I will run away from here.
So the ugly duckling flew over the fence of the farmyard and continued flying until he spotted a large moor. He decided to spend the night there.
I am so tired. I think I will spend the night here.
Next morning, the ugly duckling woke up to the sound of loud quacking. He opened his eyes and saw a flock of wild ducks.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Can I please stay here for a while? I have nowhere to go.
You are ugly. Stay here. Don't get in our way.
The ugly duckling stayed on the moor for a few days. He felt lonely, but no one bullied him or hurt him because of his looks. One morning, the duckling heard a noise like a big bang. He lay still, too scared to move. When he finally lifted his head and looked around, all of the other ducks had fled. The ugly duckling also fled from the moor as fast as it could. It flew as fast as its young wings would take him. However, suddenly there was a thunder and lightning, scaring the little duckling.
Brr! I am so wet and cold. That cottage there looks warm. Maybe I can take shelter there.
The cottage belonged to an old lady who lived with her tomcat and hen, who found the duckling the next morning.
What is happening here? Why are you making so much noise? What is this we have here? Looks like a duck, though a very ugly one. I know what I will do. I will keep it with me and wait for it to lay eggs. Then I will have eggs from my hen and from this duck too. Oh, but I do hope that this is a duck and not a drake.
So the ugly duckling stayed with the old lady in her cottage, but here also the tomcat and hen made its life so miserable.
Hey you, don't you get scared when you see your face in the mirror? Look at me. My coat is so silky. Look at my whiskers, so long and beautiful. The mistress says my walk is so graceful.
You are such a loser. You cannot even lay an egg. Look at my eggs, such lovely big and brown ones.
The ugly duckling continued to be lonely. He would sit in front of the window looking at the small pond outside.
How I wish I could swim in that pond. It used to be so nice when I swam in the cool water back home.
Are you mad? The mistress isn't going to let you go. You have a safe house. What more do you want? Behave yourself and don't anger the mistress, the cat, or even me. Want to swim? Indeed!
The ugly duckling felt very, very sad, wondering what to do.
I know this place is safe, but I feel like a prisoner here, being punished by being not allowed to swim. I want to swim. I want to be free to swim and fly as I please. I have to escape from here somehow.
So one night, the duckling quietly crept out of the cottage and went in search of a new home. Soon he found a beautiful lake where he could swim and dive.
Ah! This is such a lovely place. Feels so good to swim after so long. I hope the other animals and birds here are friendly, so I don't have to move away from here also.
But alas, here too, the other animals did not want to be friends with the ugly duckling.
Why does everybody keep avoiding me? Just because I'm ugly doesn't mean everyone has to be mean. No one wants to play with me or even talk to me.
So life continued in this miserable way for the ugly duckling. Soon the seasons changed, autumn set in, and the color of the leaves changed from red to orange and then gold. Winter followed. The forest turned white, and a very cold wind set in. The dark clouds made the duckling feel even more gloomy and sad, so the duckling decided to go to the lakeside, and what a lovely sight he saw there.
What are these beautiful birds? I don't think I have seen them before. How beautifully they spread their large wings. Looks like they are not flying, but just gliding through the sky.
Though the winter grew colder, the duckling continued to swim despite the freezing water, and then finally took refuge in some bushes. Finally, it was spring again. Plants started sprouting, and the sun peeped down from the sky. The duckling was so happy that it was becoming warm again.
Everything around me has become so beautiful. My wings have also become strong, and I can now swim in the pond close by.
Suddenly, the duckling once again saw the same beautiful birds that he had seen at the start of spring, and quickly ran and hid behind some bushes.
Those birds are so beautiful. I better not go near them, or they too will make fun of me. I am so scared that they might kill me. I'm so tired of being picked on by everybody. First the ducklings at the farm, my own brothers and sisters, the hen and tomcat at the cottage, and everybody else. I wish I had never been born.
The duckling went to a quiet spot on the lake where nobody could see him. He was very, very sad, and big fat tears rolled down its face. Suddenly, the duckling saw its own reflection in the lake and couldn't believe his eyes. For staring at him in the clear water below was his own reflection. No longer a dark, gray bird, ugly and repulsive to look at. Instead, he had turned into a graceful and beautiful swan. The ugly duckling had transformed into a beautiful swan. All of the other swans came to greet the newcomer and stroked his neck with their beaks. Finally, the ugly little thing was accepted and loved by his new friends to whom he belonged, the beautiful and graceful swans. A family with 2 children came to see the swan swimming.
Look, there is a new one. Father, mother, come here. There is another swan. A new one has arrived. The new one is the most beautiful of all. Oh, he is so young and pretty.
The swan did not know how to react to so much praise. He felt shy and tried to hide his face. After being mocked and taunted and bullied for so long, he couldn't believe he was being appreciated and accepted. And he was actually being called beautiful.
I never dreamt that I would see a day where someone would call me beautiful. I wish I had received the same love and affection when I was the little and ugly creature. I wouldn't have spent such a sad childhood. Why do people treat others according to their looks? That is so, so sad.
Thumbelina. There was once a woman who was very lonely, and decided to go visit her friend, the fairy.
Hello, dear. What brings you here?
Dear fairy, I'm so lonely. I wish I had a little daughter, even if she was a teeny-weeny one.
Well, you are a dear friend, so I will help you. Take this grain of barley and go home and plant it in a flower pot.
But I want a little girl. What will I do with a grain of barley?
Trust me and do as I say. You will receive a very pleasant surprise.
The woman went home and planted the grain of barley like the fairy had told her to. The next morning, she was amazed to see that the grain had grown into a beautiful flower resembling a tulip, with its soft petals still shut tight.
This is so beautiful. I have never seen anything like it.
The woman held the flower tenderly and kissed it. Immediately, the petals opened, and there lay a beautiful tiny girl.
Oh my God. She's so pretty and dainty. I shall call her Thumbelina. And I must thank my friend the fairy for such a lovely gift.
The woman gently lifted the little girl from the flower.
Now let me see how I can make her comfortable. This walnut shell shall be her bed, and I think these flower petals can be used as a mattress and blanket.
The woman placed Thumbelina on a tulip petal floating on a plate during the day. How happy Thumbelina was! She drifted around on her little lake, singing in the most sweet voice ever. One night, when Thumbelina was fast asleep in her tiny walnut shell, a horrible-looking frog saw her from the window.
Who is this tiny thing? She's so pretty. I think she will make a fine bride for my dear Toady and a very good daughter-in-law for me.
The frog hopped inside and carried away the sleeping Thumbelina to the pond.
Oh, where are you? I am so hungry.
Stop complaining all the time. Look what I have brought for you. This beautiful creature will be the perfect bride for you.
Croak, 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 croak.
Yes, I know you are very excited. Now we have to make a nice bridal room in the marsh so that you can marry her and stay there with her.
Croak, 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 croak.
The croaking noise woke up Thumbelina. She looked around, feeling very scared on seeing the frog and toad.
She is awake! She is awake! My bride is awake!
Bride of this ugly-looking creature? Never! His eyes look like they will pop out at any minute.
How dare you? You will marry my son and be a good and obedient wife. I will make sure you can never escape from here.
The frog put Thumbelina on the leaf of a water lily in the middle of the pond. Thumbelina sobbed and cried out for help.
Help! Help! Someone please help me!
Some fish swimming nearby had seen and heard everything.
Look at that poor dear sobbing her heart out. That horrible toad will make an awful husband. Friends, we must not allow the nasty frog and her ugly son to get away with their horrible plan. Come, let us nibble at the root of this lily and set it free.
And so they nibbled and nibbled and nibbled, till the leaf of the lily was free and floated away. Thumbelina sailed past many beautiful places and saw many pretty sights. One day, a big cockchafer saw her and carried her away to a large tree. He was very proud of her and invited all his friends to come and have a look at her.
She looks so weird. She's actually ugly. And she's not one of us. So how can you even think of marrying her? Are you out of your mind?
When all his friends said the same thing, the cockchafer thought they might be right. So he put Thumbelina on the ground and flew away. Poor Thumbelina. She walked and walked in the wood, eating whatever she could find and drinking the dew on the flowers. Summer turned to autumn, and soon the bitter cold winter arrived.
It's getting so cold. Unless I find somewhere to take shelter, I will surely freeze to death. Brrr.
As Thumbelina was walking in a field, she suddenly came across a tiny door.
Ah! I think this must be the house of a field mouse. I hope it is a kind mouse who will give me something to eat and let me stay for some time.
Thumbelina knocked on the door, and very soon it was opened by a mouse.
I'm very hungry. Could you please give me something to eat?
What are you doing out in the cold? Come in and warm yourself near the fire. You can share my dinner. I have some hot soup and cheese and bread.
Thank you so much. You are so kind.
Soon Thumbelina had eaten a nice meal prepared by the mouse, and feeling tired, she just wanted to sleep for some time.
Your house is so warm and cozy. May I sleep here tonight? I'm really tired after walking for so long.
Well, if you have nowhere to go, you can certainly rest here. In fact, if you can keep my house neat and clean, you can stay here for the whole winter. Can you do that?
Of course. Thank you so much.
So Thumbelina spent the winter with the mouse. One day the mouse said to Thumbelina,
Please clean the house very well, as I have a dear friend visiting me tomorrow.
A friend? Is it another mouse?
No, it's my good friend the mole. Oh, he is so rich. He has such a large home. You know what? I have a great idea. If you could sing sweetly for my friend and tell him some nice stories, he might even marry you. Even though he is blind, he will look after you well and all your worries will be over.
When the mole came to visit, he fell in love with Thumbelina's beautiful voice and asked to marry her.
I'm so happy. I'm sure you both will make a wonderful couple. Let us start making preparations for a summer wedding.
As the mole was leaving the hole leading to the mouse's house, he kicked a sparrow lying there.
Don't kick the poor little thing. Can't you see it's hurt?
Where did this piece of filth come from? These pesky things keep flying all over and don't bother to make a home for winter. The sparrow deserves to die.
Thumbelina was shocked at the mole's behavior. She couldn't imagine how anyone could be so cruel.
Oh, you poor birdie. I will nurse you back to health.
Though the mouse got angry, Thumbelina cared very lovingly for the sparrow till it was strong enough to fly away. As her wedding day was coming closer and closer,
I can't marry that mole. I would rather die. Not only is he stupid and ugly, he is a total savage. And I can't imagine living all my life in a hole. I want to be out in the sun, breathe the fresh air, and see all the lovely flowers and birds. I have to escape from the mouse and the mole.
Suddenly, Thumbelina heard a sound and looked up to see the sparrow she had looked after.
My dear, you are a gentle and kind soul. That horrible mole does not deserve you. Winter is soon going to come and I am flying away to a warm land. Why don't you just hop onto my back and come with me? I will take you far away from the mole and the mouse.
Thank you so much, dear friend. I have to escape from here.
So Thumbelina jumped onto the sparrow's back, and away, away, away they flew to the beautiful land of flowers.
Whee! This is so wonderful.
The sparrow very gently put Thumbelina on the petal of a large yellow flower. Thumbelina was tired after a long journey and immediately fell asleep. The sparrow sat on a tree above, looking after her. A little later, she woke up to the sound of a very gentle voice.
Who is this pretty maiden? I have never seen her here before.
Thumbelina got scared on seeing the stranger.
Oh, don't be afraid. I am the king of flowers. I have never seen anyone as beautiful as you. Will you be my queen?
Suddenly, Thumbelina's friend the sparrow flew down.
Thumbelina, Thumbelina, this is the king of flowers. He is a very, very kind man, and everyone here loves him, I know.
So, my dear, what do you say? Will you be my wife?
The king was so kind and handsome. How could Thumbelina refuse? And so she married the king and became the queen of flowers, living happily ever after.